Welcome to another video by Clockwork 4 Sims. Today we're going to do a build tour video. If you guys enjoy this video, please like and subscribe for more videos. Thank you. So this is a tour of my Tell Me Why house build. As you can see, I did a lot of landscaping on the outside. I used a pool in the back in place of the lake, and I tried to keep everything as close to what it looks like in the video game Tell Me Why. And as you can see, I'm just giving you guys a little bit of a tour of the outside so you can kind of take a look at some of the trees and the landscaping and the layout. I did have to turn the barn straight instead of diagonal because we cannot place ladders on a diagonal. I even included the little fish shack on the back end of the house. We did not see the inside of it, but later on in the video you will see the inside of the fisherman shack. And as we go up onto the front porch here, we're going to go through this front door. And when you go through the door, you'll see how open the space is. I have an entryway table with some packages and bills, as well as a little coat tree. And I did use the flower print wallpaper because in the video game there was a wallpaper that had Christmas trees on it, and the flowers were the closest thing I could find. This is a water heater. I used a containment barrel, sized it up, and lifted it up off the ground to make it look like their water heater. This area here would have been maybe like a freezer, a chest freezer that sits on the ground. So I just used countertops to show that. And lots of jars with all kinds of different little recipes, which were actually in the game. The mom did do jarring. She had all kinds of different recipes with different things. And just a lot of clutter and boxes and cleaning supplies. I did include the space on the floor where the trapdoor would have been. That was one area I did not build. I did not build underneath of the house because it's a little hard to do something like that in The Sims. And I do have a little laundry corner with all kinds of different laundry things. And a little closet with a broom. So yes, there's all kinds of different details here. So this is kind of like a retro kitchen. It's got a blue theme to it. And I'm going to zoom out just so you guys can see some of the columns because they do disappear. As you see, the columns over here on my built-in bookshelf disappear when you zoom in. But I wanted you guys to see what that looks like. I think it took a very long time to clutter the house because I had to use move objects to size up, size down, and lift things up off the ground and place them in just the right spot. But it was a lot of fun to do this build, even with how intricate everything is. So I'm going to show the kitchen off here one more time just so you guys can get a good view from different angles. And over here in the corner there would have been a cabinet or under the staircase area, but I just placed a curtain there because that is kind of hard to do with the stairs that I chose. And just have some decor. And then into the living room area, we do have a dining room and a living room. And you'll see we have lots of detail. And I did make this fireplace, lifted it up off the ground, and then I placed a bunch of individual pieces underneath of it to make it look like it was more true to what was in the actual game. I even have the tea and the coffee on top, which is part of the game. If you haven't played the game, you'll see. And we do have a bunch of just little details. I have a little basket of firewood by the fireplace and clutter items on the table and picture frames. I did leave them empty. If you want to make the family and fill them up, feel free to. I just left them empty. And in the corner here, we just have some cupboards or armoires, some pieces of furniture for storage. and some older couches and chairs. And then when you go out this sliding glass door here, you have the deck. So as we go outside, you'll see the view of the pier and the fishing house and the lake. And I'm just showing you guys what it looks like when I turn the camera around. And as you guys can see, there's some grass in front of the deck and trees around the deck. And when we go back into the house, you guys will get a good view of the living room, the dining room area, just another take on what it looks like. Just another view of it. And we go back down the main hallway back towards the entrance area, and we'll go into the first room right here. And this room would be the mother's room. And in this room, we do have an area for folding clothes and bookcases, a nice big bed with family photos above it. And we do have a art corner. And this art corner here has quite a lot of detail. Lots of blank canvas to use and paintings that have already been done, paintbrushes. And I'm just zooming out here so you can see I did make another built-in bookcase kind of area using the columns once again. We do have a chair and a lamp for sitting and thinking about things, as well as a desk with a little stool for planning out ideas, and brushes and paint. Little laundry corner with some storage space. And over here you have a sewing table that would have had a sewing machine on it. I just used some nifty knitting items to represent that, and an armoire for holding her clothes, as well as another tree for holding her coat and scarf. Down the hallway, we have some shelves that would have had some family pictures. At the end of this hallway, I do have some furniture that I kind of made myself. I sized up and sized down some things. In this bathroom here, I have quite a lot of clutter. In the actual game, there was a lot of bathroom clutter. Looks like I am missing my sink though, so I'll probably place that later on so you guys can see it. Looks like, yep, I'll be placing that sink right now just so you guys can see what it would have looked like. Sometimes when you download things from the gallery, a few items go missing for no reason. And in the corner over here, we do have a giraffe measuring piece on the wall where the kids would have measured their heights. And in the corner, we have some towel and laundry storage. We do have extra toilet paper, which in the game it was sitting on the shelf, but we do not have loose toilet paper. We just have the ones that hang. Going upstairs, we have a hallway that has a way to look over into the living room where you can see that fireplace. Lots of book storage, toy storage, board game storage, things like that for the children. At the end of the room, you will see we do have a solar system lamp, and that actually was in the game. And over here, we have a little tent area. I had to make it myself using a couple of different items. And the kids' bedroom. The kids' bedroom has lots of storage for clothing, dressers and armoires, bookshelves, end tables, a really cool bunk bed, which I actually made using two beds and a ladder, which I had to make myself using poles and shelves. Lots of decoration. We've got two desks because they were twins in the game, so they each got their own desk and lots of toys. And once again, I'm going to give you guys that top-down view. I like to give you guys top-down view so you can see the floor plan a little bit better. See how everything lines up. See the bathroom and the laundry room, the hallway, the mom's room, dining area and living room, kitchen, stairway, showing off a little bit of the detail from the outside. Now we're going to be moving on to the barn, so you guys can take a look at some of the exterior first before we go inside. The mom has a pottery corner up against the barn here. You can see all the different sculpture pieces. And as we go over to the side of the barn, there is a workshop I will be showing you guys later. I did use the doors from Eco Living because I like the way they sound versus making an actual barn door. As we go into the barn, you see that we have the car that was in the game. The car in the game had a cover over top, so I just used a white car. And all the tables with their clutter for crafting and building sculptures, as well as some gardening materials with different types of bottles. The jars where she would have made all of her different blends of things, the electrical box, the rack at the top, extra storage, lots of boxes and paint, and they even had a old barrel, so I put a barrel grill there. And in this room here, we do have some painting materials, jars and bottles, and I am struggling with my camera, so I decided to just give you guys a top-down view because it's easier. It is a very tiny room. It's only 3 tiles across. Some clutter and some trash around the yard. That was actually in the game. Some of the tires were in the game as well. We have an area of firewood, showing you guys how to get into the house through the back door and through the glass sliding door. And over here we have a sitting area, which was actually part of the game that I totally missed until I watched it in slow motion. And over here was part of the game as well, that there was a log or a tree that had fell that somebody used to cross. So I wanted to include that little detail. And now we're going to move on to the pier and the fisherman's hut or house or shack. We have lots of detail on the outside. We have different hooks and buoys. I have an area set up for planning, including the fishing rod and maps, maybe some jackets if they would need them. And on the other side would be where they would prepare the fish for dinner, clean the fish. Even added some crab pots and just a lot of stuff involving fish. And that was my fisherman's shack. I hope you guys have enjoyed that. I did get a little bit more freedom with that area. And now we're moving on to the barn and we're going to go upstairs. I have saved this part for last. It is the best part. And now you can see the mural and all the different puzzles. I will not tell you how to complete any of these puzzles, so no spoilers. This puzzle here is a mural, and it has one of the characters from the game. I wanted to include as much detail as I possibly could, so this is the other side, and you can see the different figurines from the game, the collectibles, in both corners, and I did use each of the items that would represent the characters the best way. If you have played the game, you may actually see the similarities there. And on the table, I do have a box with the items that were inside of the box. Where the paintings were, there would have been some other puzzles, but I decided to skip those and just focus on the main puzzles. The main puzzles were very intricate and took a long time to do. I did spend a lot of time up here placing the items. And here you can see the cubbies that are in the game. There are plenty of clues inside of each one. If you've actually played the game, you will see the accuracy based on what the items are and how many items are in each one. There is a lot of accuracy in that. I did focus on the cubbies quite a bit, trying to get them just right. And the cubbies were the areas that open once you complete the puzzles with clues. Once again, no spoilers, so I won't tell you anything more about that. If you played the game, you know. And you can just see a lot of different pictures and the different puzzles. This puzzle over here I did took me a long time. I wanted to get it pretty close to accurate as far as the number of things in it. And so this is the Tell Me Why barn where the puzzles are. I hope you guys are enjoying this so far. It did take me quite a bit of time. It took me about 21 hours to do this entire build, playing the game in slow motion, using different YouTube videos to pause as needed so I could look at different angles of the rooms, and also translating it into Sims 4 as far as the different items that you could use. I did use a mirror where a window should have been because I liked it better. And I'm going to show you guys a quick top-down view here where you can see the full layout and how I did all of the walls to get everything to look right. And I did add some lighting, some fairy lights or string lights, and then some overhead lights. And this is just top-down view of the whole barn. You can see the work rooms where the carving would have happened and the painting would have happened. And this is my Tell Me Why house, and I appreciate you guys checking out this video. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Thank you guys so much for watching this one. Thank you.